Hello guys, how are you doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time coming to my channel, you are welcome, and please don't forget to click on the subscription bell, like and share. Today I really want to talk about Africa leaders. Africa leaders are the worst thing to ever happen to us, more deadlier than coronavirus. Just take a look at Uganda government sleeping when they are having meeting. They are busy sleeping. I don't even know if they don't sleep at home. They are sleeping. They don't even know what they are discussing. When the meeting is over, they will just take their paper, they will go home. What did you people discuss today? They don't know anything.
His plans for the next. Vice President Edward Sekandi, Prime Minister John Patrick Amama Mbabazi, and his Deputy General Moses Ali are in another world, dozing the evening away, indifferent to what their boss is communicating. Not far away, Finance Minister Maria Chiwanuka as well joins the party, an incident quite strange and happens probably only in Uganda and a few other places.
Had the president not been the one delivering the speech, okay, he would be sleeping too.
These are the men and women that the president trusts to implement his vision of seeing Uganda transformed into a first world country in 50 years' time, and as such, many are raising questions on whether the decision of these top guns in government to sleep at such a critical hour does not affect their implementation as the nation continues to boast of terrible infrastructure, miserable roads, and yawning health facilities.
It is really a very unfortunate situation because this is the time top officials in government really needed to pay a lot of attention.
The same sleeping group is the one that the president enjoys working with. They are all tired, right from the president, the vice president, etc. Those are grandfathers who should, for the few hours they are awake, be playing with their grandchildren.
As political leaders, they spearhead the transactions in ministries that are supposed to translate into effective service delivery. Probably the reason why most technocrats have emerged as power blocks, dictating events in the ministries. Indeed, the president at some point blamed some officials for not doing enough, citing Ministry of Health on maternal health and issues to do with NADS that the president says must be rethought. Billions have been swindled from the Office of the Prime Minister, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Public Service and other government agencies, and as such, a joke has emerged that the money is often stolen as the political leaders retreat to slumberland.
You cannot expect life to be better. One with a sleeping president, with a sleeping vice president, with a sleeping cabinet. If you looked at the red paper today, the headline is, "They have slept again."
It is critical for the country to be reassured that these events do not play out as well in the day-to-day running of government business, where some have already complained about unnecessary bureaucracies and delays caused by officials who are not bothered, or rather prefer to take their time. And yet, the president promised improved service delivery in the next financial year, and many will be looking out for its implementation.
In any case, the resources are limited of members of parliament in the opposition. Think that Ugandans cannot understand that. You think Ugandans have not read the book of Genesis? To know that things take time.
Promising is one thing, delivery is another. And as people in charge continue to sleep during critical hours, the public might be worried, as chances are that the promises could pass unnoticed. Some have argued that most top guns in government have since become weak, consumed by old age, yet they have never thought about hanging their political boots as the countries continue to suffer the repercussions of their tiredness. Surprisingly, even some younger people are falling prey to the sleeping bug. Sabiti Joseph, WS Television, from the Ugandan Parliament.
Not only in Uganda Parliament, even in Nigeria Parliament, how can the Ministry of Health claim not to know if the workers are any allowances during this epidemic situation? And you are a Ministry of Health. Then what is the use of you? Why are they paying you salary? Or should I do your work for you? These leaders, they need to just resign from their job. They are too old to control Africans.
The people on the front lines the nurses and the first responders and all of those people, I guess there will be no point asking how much they are paid. But do they have a hardship allowance like you get in most other countries? Are you paying them a hardship allowance extra from whatever they may be earning? Because they're the first contact. They're in a very dangerous situation. They're putting their lives on the line. Are they getting paid a hardship allowance?
The first line of defense.
Hazard allowance, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Yeah.
well, the first line of defense, as I said, are the port health officers who meet the people at the point of entry, whether it's an airport or a land border, and then do the screening and have to collect the questionnaire. We were among the first to issue questionnaires that give you a travel history.
No, are they being paid a hazard allowance?
They are civil servants, and the payment structure is not what I can speak of, but I'm also going to talk about the other front line.
No, hold on.
The ones doing the tracing.
Hold on.
They are also front
Are
line
they
workers.
paid? I'm not talking about their civil service payments. Are they being paid a hazard allowance for the job that they are doing?
I am not aware of it.
You're not aware?
It's a standard job they do every day.
It's a standard job?
Yes, a standard job.
I thought you said coronavirus was novel. How is it now a standard job that they're doing?
Because the screening is what you do every day.
They don't screen for coronavirus every day. They've never done it. They've never done it. This is the most infectious disease in the world.
They're screening for temperature. That's what they're
Anyway,
doing.
so the answer to my question is that they're not being paid a hazard allowance.
No, the answer you're right on
That you don't know.
is that I am not aware.
But you should be aware, though, as a Minister of Health. You should be aware. Quite honestly, you should be aware whether your guys are being paid a hazard allowance or not. It's not enough to say that you don't know. Quite honestly, you dropped the ball there.
Your Excellency, with regards to that, I know that the Honorable Minister of Finance was here, and she spoke to this very meeting of the leadership about the insurance package that is being looked at to cover our frontliners in terms of those at the ports and also the people that will provide care. I believe that it is a comprehensive package that is being put together. We all appreciate the fact that this pandemic is thrown on us. Nobody was prepared for it. It's now that the preparations are being put in place to deal with it, but I can assure you that every aspect of the welfare of our doctors, our nurses, and people who will be in the points of contact with likely infected persons would all be covered in this comprehensive package that is being prepared. The content of it is what I cannot give details of. I would defer that after consultation with the Honorable Minister of Finance. We will come up with a package that would cover the entirety of the structure of those that are responding to likely people that are infected. Sir.
I don't blame him, but if it is time to steal money, they know how to steal. They will be aware. Kenya president addresses his people. And the funny part is, he was just talking about his matrimonial home, him and the wife. They did not even address the important matters like how to move the country forward or how to handle the coronavirus epidemic. Old people ruling Africa, they don't think about the citizens, but to just satisfy themselves. When will Africa be free from this bondage?
Good. Welcome to this press conference. This is my wife, Lucy, and I want to state something that I've wanted you to hold dear and permanently in your heart. You know, and I know, and everybody else knows that I'm married and I have only one wife. And everyone in Kenya knows it. But the media keeps repeating about my having another wife or wives. I want to make it very clear that I have only one dear wife, Lucy, who's here, and I do not have any other. And anybody who knows me and knows my family and knows how I live, they know I have only one wife. And they do not expect any dispel or any diversion from the reality of life by people telling lies. So, ladies and gentlemen, I decided to make it public and to appeal to you, the public, to listen to what I say and not to continue dispelling lies all over the place, for the reason that there is no genuine purpose for people wanting to continue to spread lies about myself, because I don't have such lies around myself. I don't have. So, ladies and gentlemen, ask any question you want to ask me. I'm happy to reply to them.
Ask now or never. From here you go right more eyes. I'll be with you. Now is the president.
Mr. President, my name is Newton from KTN.
Yes, okay.
The basis of this, the genesis of this whole story.
I do not know. That's exactly precisely why I feel pain.
Yes, you KTN. Are you from KTN?
I don't have any reason. I don't. And I don't have any reason why anyone would want to continue.
Ask another.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any questions you can ask? Anybody?
Yes, ask now. And from now on, continue the truth. At last, the president did not say that. You have been tormenting us. I don't know what to get out of it. You, KTN, I nearly came to your studios last night to attack you the way I did in the nation. I saw you listening to somebody called Moite talking about the president. Telling lies. Covered by so many people. You, foreign journalists, ambassadors, name them, all of them, listening to Moite's lies. The president might not take him to court. Me and my family will not take him to court over that issue. Go tell him that.
Thank you, Santi.
America is really affected with this coronavirus, and the citizens are hungry and tired of the lockdown. Everything is just getting out of hand. This is what America is going through right now.
Good evening. As the number of COVID deaths has surged to at least 32,000 in this country, that drumbeat to reopen the economy is landing with a dull thud in regions still seeing their deadliest days. Daily deaths in New York still routinely hovering above 700, and where there is not enough testing capacity to safely ease restrictions. All as a new crisis grows around the country, hunger. Our correspondents have it all covered. First, Gabe Gutierrez.
Tonight, the calls to reopen parts of the nation's economy are growing louder. Protesters at the Michigan State Capitol blasted the governor's strict stay-at-home order, which, among other things, even restricts interstate travel.
Putting all of these workers out of business it's a disaster.
President Trump is now suggesting some states might start reopening before May 1st.
We have beautiful pieces, beautiful states with capable governors. They know when it's time to open.
But in the Northeast,
they know when it's time to open.
But in the Northeast, the crisis is far from over. COVID-19 took another 752 lives in New York State, and those are only the confirmed cases. Still, ICU admissions and intubations are down again.
We have the infection spread down to a manageable number. We've accomplished that.
To keep stopping that spread, today Governor Andrew Cuomo ordered all New Yorkers to wear face coverings in public if people can't maintain proper social distancing. The mayor here has just appointed a food czar and is setting aside $170 million for emergency meals over the next few months for those most in need. Today in Austin, Texas, hundreds of cars lined up for free meals at this food bank. This week, other states such as Louisiana and Florida have had their deadliest days. The husband of this nurse in Miami believes she died from coronavirus.
My wife would still be here right now if she was given the proper protective equipment.
It's so hard.
Michael Merritt is an ER nurse in New York whose patient died within an hour of getting to the hospital.
I FaceTimed the family while the man was dying so they could be with him.
He has this message for those who want the country to reopen.
I'm sorry for people that's suffering from unemployment, but I'm seeing so much pain and sadness and sickness every single day. I don't understand why they would even consider it. Not until we're in the clear.
Tonight, New York is sending unused ventilators to Michigan and Maryland, ammunition for the next battles in the ongoing war. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, New York.
2 ladies were arrested in Kenya for disobeying the law of lockdown during this coronavirus. And the video here shows when they were fighting with the healthcare people. They never accept to take correction. They were just shouting, insulting.
Analia, naona ni kama ni kukufa anakufa badala aende angaliwe mulimu. Analia hadi akaroro mulimu. Mada kwa rupire. Dekire, ndoka gwatio corona ni aya. Aya ni arwaru corona iretu aya. Ego gari utoya watu hapo. Eka hatu kwa gari bana. Aka tukwandeza bana. Ah, ndio ndio corona. Tuingie kwa corona bana. Ingia kwa corona bana. Watu wanatuonjeza corona hao. Ingia kai mwigira. Ambia ingia huko. Ingia kwa usalama bana. Ingieni hapo bana. Yeah, go peacefully. Ingieni nyinyi mnataka kutua nyinyi ngai. Manda kutora.
Karana, tuko na karana.
Tuko na karana. Uko na karana.
This is not South Africa. This is Kenya. You can't bring us. You can't bring us to this
Siko huko ndani. Siko huyu. Hapo ndani wewe. Siko huyu. Hata huyu ako na corona. Wewe kisha bana.
Achilia huyu. Anataka simu.
Take a look at this video. You will see why we need to know our right as Africans, as in why we don't need to look down on ourselves.
One day. Why? Because when white people came to Africa, they came showing themselves as superior to the black people, digging out things that black people taught them. You know, what we don't have in our history books is that the civilization we have in Europe today was brought to us by black people. Even black people don't know that. Even many black people don't know that. They don't know that the Moors, they were West Africans and North Africans and Central Africans that came to Europe and ruled Spain. They brought civilization to us. They showed us how to use soap, how to be clean, how to behave like a decent human being, you know? All these things we didn't know that before the Moors brought civilization to Spain. Did you know that the Moors ruled in Spain for 700 years? Where is that in our history books? It's nowhere to be found. Because why? If you are giving black people that power of having once ruled over white people, wouldn't black people start like kind of questioning, oh, we were once at that point of having such a power in a white man's country over white people, and where are we now? So of course they have to hide that history from you people, because knowing your true history is knowing your true power, and knowing your true power means you will break out from that system of racism as much as you can, because you can't. If white people will not stop racism, black people cannot stop being victims of racism. Okay, that sounds like I'm victimizing a black person, which I don't. The fact is, okay, I've said that before, I've used that example before, but I think it's just the perfect, it sums everything up. Okay, when you see a child that was sexually molested, or it mustn't even be a sexual molestation, if it was molested, would you walk up to that child and tell the child to stop whining about their molestation, stop crying about what happened to them and move on, because after all it was 5 years ago, your molester, is he not in prison? Can't you stop pulling the molester card and blah blah blah? Nobody would do that. No person that has senses would tell a child that was abused or molested to move on, or to even go out and fight against what happened to them. No, you will not do that. What you will do is you expect authorities to step up from that child and get justice on that child's behavior. But when it comes to racism, we be all in our feelings like, oh, but I'm not racist. I never owned slaves. My neighbor's cousin is black. I can't be racist. But it is not like that. I've seen white women raising black children, having black husbands, you know, and they are still racist. So you mingling with all the black people in the world is not going to make you less racist. That is just the point. That's because in the society we were not raised to understand what racism really is.
Africans are suffering because of lack of food. African leaders declare lockdown the way the western part of the world also declare lockdown. But Westerners' government are taking care of their citizens. What is African leaders doing for their citizens?
Lockdown, we are not seeing food to eat, and they still give us more 2 weeks again to stay. With it more 2 weeks again to stay, how can we see our daily bread to eat? And I have 3 children, nothing that we are using. So when we are selling in the market where you say you go and buy and sell again, the one that we are selling have finished. So we need help from people that will come and help us. Even though that is governor or other people that can help us, let them come and help. They should please and help us.
Okay. What's in the do your sister?
Is Mizu. Mizu. She has been sick since. I've been buying drugs. Even to Kapu. No, cannot even go to good hospital. We are scared of the bill.
Okay, you guys you are scared of going to the hospital.
The bill is too big. If you go to a good hospital, where is money? My money, that's the only one.
No problem. God go answer on our prayer, yeah? Okay, good day, sir.
Yes.
Okay, you say you know this, eh? For how many years now we never see?
Since 2010.
Since 2010. So who they feed the family all this while?
Now my wife, now in the hustle.
So mommy, have for the past 2 weeks now, how you take the manage?
The little one I get that don't sell finish to go on to go by me, they don't block road. It's just they know where to go buy your pie again, and now your pie they cook they feed my children.
Now they cook they feed
the money
your
for
children.
pie, now with the chop, don't finish.
And your husband don't blind.
Yes, no they see, no be say na lie, no they see 7 years, no they see.
She's 7 years.
Yes.
Waiting be this line, waiting they there.
Na medicine.
No, they okay.
Now medicine, where I go buy for my daughter when no where she and there. You miss you there water and she's 1 week. You don't do this one now. You never pay money. I tell and say I pay on credit you go carry on. No pay money. They pay government to make they help me. If they suffer, no food. No food. See my house. See now my house is this. No food. Since 10 years now. 10 years now. Now this thing start. Why I know they see. I know they take my eyes see road.
No problem. We'll see what you go do, yeah?
They can't help us.
Even though this our house they look rainy season now. Now stand.
Oh, okay. No problem, man. Yeah?
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Stay safe, always use sanitizer and avoid close contact with people. See you on my next video. Bye.